On the morning of March 24, 1998, 23-year-old Amy Lynn Bradley disappeared from a cruise ship traveling through the Caribbean. There was no confirmed struggle. No body was ever recovered. And despite decades of investigation, no one has been able to establish exactly what happened to her. Today, Amy's disappearance remains an open FBI case, with a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to her recovery and the identification and conviction of whoever may be responsible. This is the story of Amy Lynn Bradley. The last night. In March 1998, Amy was vacationing with her parents, Ron and Iva, and her brother Brad aboard Royal Caribbean's Rhapsody of the Seas. The ship had departed San Juan, Puerto Rico, and was traveling from Aruba toward Curaçao. On the night of March 23rd, Amy spent time with her family before going to the ship's nightclub. She danced with members of the ship's entertainment staff, including Alistair "Yellow" Douglas, a musician performing aboard the vessel. Video footage later became part of the investigation into the events of that night. Eventually, Amy returned to the family's cabin. And sometime during the early morning hours, something happened that remains unexplained. 6 a.m. At approximately 6 o'clock in the morning, Amy's father, Ron, went to check on her. She was gone. Amy's personal belongings raised questions. Her room key and cigarettes were missing, while her sandals were reportedly left behind on the cabin's balcony. The family immediately began searching for her. The ship was searched, and authorities conducted searches of the surrounding waters. But Amy was nowhere to be found. The Rhapsody of the Seas continued its journey, eventually traveling to Curaçao, St. Martin, and St. Thomas before returning to San Juan. Amy never came home. What happened to Amy? From the beginning, one of the central theories was that Amy had gone overboard. The circumstances of her disappearance made that possibility difficult to dismiss. But Amy's family has consistently rejected the idea that she simply fell or intentionally jumped from the ship. They have pointed to what they describe as Amy's fear of heights, her state of mind, and her plans for the future. And because no remains were ever recovered, there has never been physical evidence conclusively establishing that she went overboard. That left another possibility. Could Amy have been taken from the ship? The Alistair "Yellow" Douglas question. One of the people investigated was Alistair "Yellow" Douglas, a musician aboard the ship. Witnesses had reported seeing Douglas with Amy during the night, and his interactions with her became an important part of the investigation. The FBI questioned Douglas after Amy disappeared. Douglas voluntarily took a polygraph examination, but the result was inconclusive. According to Netflix's account of the investigation, the FBI ultimately had no evidence to charge him, and Douglas has maintained his innocence. That does not establish guilt. But the circumstances surrounding Amy's final known hours have continued to fuel speculation about what happened aboard the ship. The sightings. Then came something even more mysterious. Over the years, people reported seeing someone they believed to be Amy in various locations around the Caribbean. Some claimed they had seen a woman resembling her in Curaçao or Barbados. Other accounts described a woman who appeared distressed or seemed to be asking for help. None of these sightings has been conclusively verified as Amy. And that distinction is important. A reported sighting is not proof that Amy survived her disappearance. But for her family, every credible lead represented another possibility that she might still be alive. The sightings also helped fuel one of the most disturbing theories surrounding the case, that Amy may have been abducted and forced into human trafficking. There is no publicly established evidence proving that happened. But the theory has remained part of the discussion surrounding her disappearance for decades. A case that never went away. Amy's family refused to let the case disappear with her. They continued searching, publicizing her photograph, and following leads from around the world. The case eventually became widely known through television programs and true crime coverage. And in 2025, public interest surged again when Netflix released the 3-part documentary series Amy Bradley is Missing, which revisited the disappearance, the reported sightings, and the investigation into what happened aboard the cruise ship. But despite renewed attention, the fundamental mystery remains. What happened between the time Amy was last seen and the moment her family realized she was gone? The investigation today. The FBI continues to list Amy Lynn Bradley as a missing person. According to the FBI's current wanted person page, Amy was born May 12, 1974, was approximately 5 feet 6 inches tall, and had brown hair and green eyes. The FBI also identifies several tattoos that could help distinguish her, including a Tasmanian Devil tattoo on her shoulder, a sun tattoo on her lower back, a Chinese symbol on her right ankle, and a gecko tattoo near her navel. Most importantly, the FBI is still offering up to $100,000 for information leading to Amy's recovery and information that leads to the identification, arrest, and conviction of those responsible for her disappearance. The unanswered questions. More than 28 years have passed since Amy Bradley disappeared. There has been no confirmed sighting, no confirmed evidence that she fell overboard, no body, and no definitive answer about whether she disappeared voluntarily, died accidentally, or was the victim of a crime. What makes this case so haunting is that Amy vanished from a place where hundreds of people were nearby, and yet somehow, the truth has remained out of reach. For Amy's family, the question has never simply been what happened. It has always been, where is Amy? If you have credible information about Amy Lynn Bradley's disappearance, the FBI continues to ask that you contact your local FBI office or the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. Until Amy is found, the mystery remains open.